Hello everyone, this is Super Story Studios TV, and in today's video we are going to talk about top 10 strongest and most powerful Jujutsu Kaisen characters. Number 10, Nanami Kento. He is a professional sorcerer and a former colleague of Gojo, and he has the ability to create weak points on anything he touches with his cursed energy. He can use this power to cut through curses, objects, or even domains with ease. He can also use a domain expansion called Collapse, which creates a space where everything is divided into equal parts and collapses. He has shown his power by fighting against Mahito and other curses, by mentoring Yuji Itadori, and by being one of the most respected sorcerers in the Jujutsu society. Number 9, Megumi Fushiguro. Megumi Fushiguro is one of the main protagonists of the series and a first-year student at Tokyo Jujutsu High School. He is a descendant of the Zenin clan, one of the three great families of Jujutsu sorcerers, and he possesses the rare ability to manipulate shadows and summon Shikigami, or cursed spirits that serve him. He is also one of the few people who can use the 10 Shadows technique, which allows him to store up to 10 Shikigami inside his shadow and unleash them at will. Some of his most notable Shikigami are New, a winged beast that can shoot lightning bolts, Toad, a giant frog that can swallow enemies, and Divine Dog, a pair of wolves that can track curses and bite through them. Megumi is a calm and stoic person who values his friends and family above all else. He is also very intelligent and strategic, often analyzing his opponent's strengths and weaknesses before engaging them in combat. He has shown impressive feats of strength and speed, such as fighting toe-to-toe with Sukuna in his domain expansion, or creating a large-scale barrier with his Shikigami. He also has great potential for growth, as Sukuna himself has expressed interest in him and his abilities. Number 8, Aoi Todo. Aoi Todo is a third-year student at Kyoto Jujutsu High School and one of the strongest sorcerers in Japan. He is a tall and muscular man who loves women with big butts and idolizes Takada-chan, a famous pop singer. He is also very eccentric and friendly, often asking people what their type of woman is and becoming their best friend if they share his taste. E's main ability is called Boogie Woogie, which allows him to swap places with anyone or anything he touches with his right hand, or swap two other things he touches with both hands. This gives him an edge in combat, as he can surprise his enemies with unpredictable movements and attacks. He can also use cursed energy to enhance his physical strength and speed, making him a formidable close-range fighter. He has demonstrated his power by defeating Hanami, one of the special grade curses, with the help of Yuji Itadori, and by overwhelming Mahito, another special grade curse, in a one-on-one fight. Number 7, Mahito. Mahito is one of the main antagonists of the series and a curse born from the hatred and fear of humans. He has a humanoid appearance with pale skin, blonde hair, and stitches all over his body. He is also very sadistic and cruel, enjoying torturing and killing humans for fun. Mahito's main ability is called Idol Transfiguration, which allows him to manipulate the shape and size of his own body or any other soul he touches. He can use this power to create weapons out of his limbs, heal his wounds, or transform humans into grotesque monsters. He can also create a domain expansion called Self-Embodiment of Perfection, which covers a large area with his cursed energy and allows him to alter the souls of anyone inside it. He has shown his strength by killing several Jujutsu sorcerers, such as Kiyotaka Ijichi and Nanami Kento, and by fighting against Yuji Itadori and Sukuna. Number 6, Yuta Okotsu. A second-year student at Tokyo Jujutsu High School and the one of the protagonist. He is a kind and timid boy who suffers from a curse that haunts him since childhood. The curse is actually the spirit of his childhood friend Rika Orimoto, who died in a car accident and became a vengeful ghost. Rika is extremely powerful and protective of Yuta, often attacking anyone who harms or insults him. Yuta's main ability is called Rika, the Queen of Curses, which allows him to use Rika's power as his own. He can summon Rika to fight for him, or fuse with her to increase his strength and speed. He can also copy the techniques of other sorcerers by touching them, making him very versatile and unpredictable. He has proven his power by defeating Suguru Geto, one of the most wanted criminals in the Jujutsu world, and by being recognized as a special grade sorcerer by Satoru Gojo. Number 5. Suguru Geto. Suguru Geto is another main antagonist of the series and a former student of Tokyo Jujutsu High School. He was once a friend and ally of Satoru Gojo, but he turned against him and the Jujutsu Society after witnessing the corruption and injustice in the world. He believes that only sorcerers should exist, and that all non-sorcerers should be eliminated. Suguru's main ability is called Cursed Spirit Manipulation, which allows him to control any curse he touches with his left hand. He can store up to 24 curses inside his body, and release them at any time to fight for him. He can also use a domain expansion called Curtain, which creates a barrier that blocks the entry and exit of anyone except himself and his allies. He has shown his power by leading a group of curse users against the Jujutsu Society, by fighting against Satoru Gojo and Yuta Okkotsu, and by stealing several of Sukuna's fingers. Number 4. Ryomen Sukuna. Ryomen Sukuna is the king of curses and the most powerful curse in history. He was once a human sorcerer who lived over 1,000 years ago, but he became a curse after dying and splitting his soul into 20 fingers. Each finger contains immense cursed energy, and anyone who consumes one becomes Sukuna's vessel, allowing him to take over the body. Sukuna's main ability is called Cursed Technique Lapse, Maximum Cursed Energy Output, which allows him to release all of his cursed energy at once, creating devastating attacks that can destroy anything in their path. He can also use a domain expansion called Malevolent Shrine, which creates a giant palace that enhances his power and speed. He has shown his power by easily defeating any curse or sorcerer he faces, such as Jogo, Hanami, Mahito, Dagon, Megumi Fushiguro, and Aoi Todo. Number 3. Jogo. Jogo is one of the main antagonists of the series and a curse born from the accumulated hatred and fear of volcanoes. He has a humanoid appearance with rocky skin, horns, and a single eye. He is also very arrogant and confident, believing that he is the strongest curse in existence. Jogo's main ability is called Disaster Flames, which allows him to manipulate fire and create various attacks, such as fireballs, pillars, blasts, or streams. He can also use a domain expansion called Coffin of the Iron Mountain, which creates a volcanic landscape that increases his firepower and burns anyone inside it. He has shown his power by destroying Shibuya Station with a single attack, by fighting against Satoru Gojo and forcing him to use his domain expansion, and by surviving a direct hit from Sukuna. Number 2. Yuki Tsukumo. Yuki Tsukumo is a professional sorcerer and an old friend of Satoru Gojo. She is a beautiful woman with long black hair and purple eyes. She is also very laid back and carefree, often traveling around the world and avoiding her duties as a sorcerer. Yuki's main ability is called Idol Transfiguration, which is the same as Mahito's, but on a much higher level. She can manipulate the shape and size of not only her own body or soul, but also any matter or energy around her. She can use this power to create weapons, shields, clones, or anything else she can imagine. She can also use a domain expansion called Windowless Building, which creates a replica of Satoru Gojo's domain expansion that nullifies all techniques inside it. She has shown her power by easily defeating several curses and curse users, by creating a giant sword that can cut through mountains, and by being one of the few people who can match Satoru Gojo in combat. Number 1. Satoru Gojo. Satoru Gojo is a teacher at Tokyo Jujutsu High School and the strongest sorcerer in the world. He is a tall and handsome man who usually wears a blindfold over his eyes, which are said to be bright blue. He is also very confident and cheerful, often teasing his students and colleagues. However, he can also be serious and ruthless when it comes to protecting his friends and fighting against his enemies. Satoru's main ability is called Six Eyes, which is a rare trait that grants him immense perception and control over cursed energy. He can use this power to perform various techniques, such as Limitless, which allows him to manipulate space and create barriers that can distort distance, gravity, or force and infinity, which creates an invisible shield around him. If you liked the video, don't forget to like, subscribe and see you in the next one.